Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to get the user location by creating an iOS plugin for the Godot Game Engine. So let's get started. So first of all I want to make clear few things like I have two finder opens. So this work finder which you see, the work folder which you see, I have already created this location plugin and I will be copying a lot of code from this. Because there are lot of steps involved, I want to show it in as much detail as I can. And here you can see I have created this workspace folder. So you will have to create this folder. Ignore this work folder for now. Create a workspace folder. You can name it whatever you feel like. Okay. Now for creating an iOS plugin, obviously you would require a Mac OS. Then make sure you also have installed Python. You would require Xcode, which you can download it from the Apple App Store. And you require scones. To install scones, you would require homebrew, and you can just run this particular command, brew install scones, which will help us to generate the iOS headers from the Godot engine source code, which I will tell you later on. So next we have to create a folder called plugin. So inside my workspace I will create a folder called plugin. Then what you will have to do is you will have to open your terminal, cd to the plugin folder which we have created just now, and then run this command. So this will download the Godot source code for you. I already have it on my local, so I'll just copy paste it because cloning it will again take lot of time. So for you it will take lot of time if you are cloning it, so be patient. Once the Godot source code has been cloned, you will have to again inside your terminal run this particular command. So this will generate the iOS headers or the files which we require for building our plugin. Again, this will take lot of time, so be patient. Then what we have to do is we have to open Xcode. Okay, it is taking a little bit of time. Let's create new project. Click on create new project. In iOS, select static library. Click next. Okay, so I will give my static library some name, I guess my location, but you can give it a better name if you want to. Language we will select as Objective-C, and here you will have to select your team and click next. Also one more thing which I forgot to tell you is at the time of this recording I am using Godot 4.2. that's why I have cloned the 4.2 branch of Godot Game Engine, but if you are using some higher version you should use the whatever version of Godot you are using. So change this 4.2 to whatever Godot engine you are using. Then before clicking on create, you will have to navigate to your plugin folder which we have just created it, and then click on create. Okay, then we will have to change the deployment target to whatever you feel like. So suppose if you are supporting your game from iOS 15, then you should change the deployment target to iOS 15. So for that just select on whatever is your plugin name in project, and I'll just change it to 16 is fine for me. Okay, then I will okay, so the next thing which you have to do is you will have to quit your Xcode, and then I'll come back to my location, and what you will have to do is you will have to drag it one folder ahead, and here my location which I have, again I will have to drag it one folder ahead, and this empty my location I'll just delete it. Now I don't know why we have to do this, but if we don't do this while generating the plugin we will face lot of issues. So this is a kind of a mandatory step, and then just double click on .xcode project and it should open your project inside Xcode. Then I will copy paste a lot of code. So first we have to create this module header file. So I'll just right click, new file, and inside header I'll click on next, and we will have to give a name as my location, right, because that is the name of our library. So I'll just click on create. Okay, I'll just copy paste all this code. Now this is a boilerplate code, most of the code which I am copying, so don't worry about it, it will remain the same every time you want to create a plugin. Whatever code is related to location I will just explain you guys that. So I'll just copy this, okay, and I'll paste it over here, and I'll paste it over here. Then I'll take this and I'll paste over here, and I'll paste it over here. Then I have to create this objective C++ file. So I'll again copy paste. So this I'll just have to copy this my location module name. Okay, then I will just right click, new file, objective C file, next, paste it over here, click next and click create. Then I'll change the extension to .mm. I'll copy paste this code, I'll paste it over here. Now again, instead of arithmetic, we just have to write my location. Here M should be capital, my location. Okay, and what else? I'll just copy this. Okay, and I'll paste it over here, and I'll paste it over here, I'll paste it over here as well. Then I'll just remove this, I'll paste it over here, I'll remove this, I'll paste it over here, I'll copy this, I'll paste it here, here. Then where else? Okay, I just want this my location, I'll paste it over here as well. Okay, this looks good to me. Now ignore this error, like this is an Xcode bug, or mostly like Xcode does not know about Godot. That's why this Godot code is throwing lot of errors. Ignore this for now. Then we have to create an header file called my location. So we already have that header file, and I'll just copy paste everything and I'll paste it over here. Okay, so here again, instead of arithmetic, we will have to write my location. Okay, I'll just copy it and I will paste it over here as well. Then here we are importing core location, which is a an iOS framework or an iOS library which is present by default. So that's what we are importing. Then I'll just copy my location over here. So I'll just my location, M is capital. I'll copy this, I'll paste it over here, I'll paste it over here, and here I have created a method called get location. This will handle both requesting of the permission as well as getting the location. If you want, you can create two separate methods, but I don't want to create two separate. I'll just create one method. Again, I'll replace arithmetic with my location, my location. All right, then we have to copy this actual implementation. Again, in here as well there is lot of boilerplate code. I'll try to explain it as much as I can. I'll go to here. Firstly, you will have to change the extension to .mm, which is Objective C++. Same I have done it for my location module as well. I'm not sure if I have told you that as well or not. So again, we are importing, this is like boilerplate code which you have to write, and here I will just rename it to my location helper. Okay, and here as well we will name it to my location help. Just copy this, I'll paste it over here, and here as you can see we are extending this CL location manager delegate. Because of this we are able to override this did update location, did fail with error, location manager, did change authorization. That's why we are extending this. Okay, then here you can see, given that we are extending it for this, so the did update location will get called whenever the user's location changes. So here you can see I am getting the lat long for that particular location, and then I'm converting it to a string format, and I'm sending it back to Godot side. So with the help of this emit signal, I will show you where the signal I have defined. In case of any error, I'm just logging it to the console, but if you want, you can create one separate signal for that as well, just like I have created over here. And firstly, you will this like did update location will get only called will get called only if you have proper permission. So for that we are requesting the permission first. So here you can see if it is not determined, I am sending that particular message to the user. I'm using the same signal, but again, if you want, you can use a different signal. If it is status is restricted, then I'm using this. If status denied, then I'm using this. If location when in use is authorized, or if it is always authorized, then only we emit this signal, as well as we call the start updating location, which will internally call this particular thing, did update location. All right, then here Okay, instead of arithmetic it should be my location, right? So I'll just change it everywhere. My location over here as well, then over here, over here, over here, and over here as well. Then here we are creating our arithmetic, so instead of that we'll create my location, and this is our arithmetic helper class which we have defined at the very top. So this one, then here we are like instantiating our arithmetic like location, sorry, and this should be my location. Okay, this should be my location helper, and here you can see we are initializing it. Then we are creating our location manager, we are setting our delegate. Desired accuracy is best and distance filter is none. If you want you can change it to whatever you feel like. And then here we are just initializing our arithmetic class, so I'll just do that as well. So sorry, deinitializing it. Okay, and here we are returning our singleton, so I'll just use that. I'll paste it this as well, and here you can see I have defined that particular signal, and I'm not sure about this, like this was in the sample code which I'm following. I'm not really sure because this is result, maybe this is result as well, again I'm not really sure, but the type of data which we can send is of type string. And here you can see this is the get location method which we had defined it inside our header file, if you remember this, which we are referencing over here, get location as well as get location, and here we are providing the implementation. I'll just remove this, we don't need this. So once you call this get location, then I'm requesting for authorization, and once we have that, then we are calling start updating the location. All right, again I have to replace arithmetic with my location. Sorry, copy this, paste it over here, paste it over here as well. Let me just quickly check if I have any references of arithmetic or not. Okay, so here as you can see everything has been replaced with my location. Now again go back to our cheat sheet just to see what is the next step. So I have done all of these steps. Okay, next we have to create this .gdip file. So what I'll do is I already have this created, so I'll just copy it. Again you have to create it inside the plugin folder. All right, so I'll just go to my plugin folder and I'll paste it over here. Now instead of arithmetic, you again have to write the name as my location. Okay, and I'll just open this inside VS Code, but you can open it wherever you feel like. Now again here instead of arithmetic you have to write my location. Okay, and here again I have replaced it with my location. Here also we have to replace it with my location, and here also I have to replace it with my location. Given that we are using the core location framework, I have added it over here. And for location you need to access this ns location when in usage description permission. Now there is one thing, even though I am requesting this permission over here, when we export our Godot project in an Xcode project, again I have to add this permission to our info.plist. I will show that later on, but I think adding this over here is not working for me. I don't know why, but anyways I have just added it because I have seen it in the other samples, that's why I have added it. Doesn't do any harm to us. Then I'll just close everything. Okay, then we have to create this construct file. So this file is actually quite big, so you can go to this particular URL and copy the initial file. So I already have that initial file. I'll copy it, I'll go to my plugin folder again and I'll paste it over here. Then we have to make few changes to this file. I'll open it back again, search for arithmetic. So instead of arithmetic we just have to write my location. Okay, and I'll again do something, my location, my location, and my location. Okay, now this is done, and the next thing is I won't be able to explain it to you, I have just copy pasted it. One important thing is, so if you remember, I have kept the minimum iOS deployment target to 16 inside my Xcode project. So whatever is your minimum iOS deployment target, change it to that over here as well. So 16, 16, 16 and 16 over here as well. Okay, so this is done. So yeah, this is what the file is all about. Then we have to create a bin folder. So I'll quickly create a bin folder over here, and inside that go to okay, plugin for okay. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to open our terminal and we'll have to go to the plugin folder. So I'll just drag and drop the plugin folder to my terminal and I'll run this command, but instead of arithmetic you will have to write my location again, my location, and I'll click on enter. Now keep an eye, if our code is if everything is fine, then inside the bin folder it should generate a .a file for us. Again this might, okay, so we have some error. Okay, if you see inside arithmetic I forgot to replace arithmetic.h with my location, so this should be my location. Okay, ignore this Xcode errors which you see, like Xcode is okay. Sorry, one more thing which I forgot is, inside your project, go to build settings, and I'm not sure if this step is mandatory or not, but I like to do it anyways. Go to your Godot project, go to platform, iOS, right click on any of the file, click get info, and I will just copy paste this particular path. Okay, and I'll paste it over here inside header search path. I'll click on this plus, I'll enter it over here. Okay, I'm not sure whether this step is mandatory or not, but I like to do it. Again I will run this particular command and hopefully this time it should work. Okay, it is still throwing any error. Unknown type, my location, my location module.mm. okay, let's see. Oh, this should be my location, right? Forgot it over here as well. Okay, let's see if this works now. I have a feeling I might have forgot it in some place else as well. Sorry about this. Okay, it worked. So if I go to my bin folder, here you can see it has generated this .a file for us. Again I will go back to my cheat sheet. I have to create a Godot project, so I'll just click and create my Godot project. I have created it outside the plugin folder. You can create it anywhere, but just don't create it inside the plugin folder. That's all I will say. Then so here you can see where is my Godot project. Oh shit, I made a mistake. I should have created a folder for my Godot project. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Okay, what I'll do is I'll quickly delete this project and I will create one more I will create my Godot project again. So I'll quickly create Godot project again. You can create it wherever you feel like, don't create it inside the plugin folder. Okay guys, so I have created my Godot project. As you can see, this is my Godot project which I have created. Let's go back to the cheat sheet again. So it tells us we have to create a folder called iOS inside our Godot project. I'll create it. Then we have to create a folder called plugins, S, don't miss the S, and then we have to copy the .gdip file as well as .a file. So I'll go to my plugin folder, I'll copy this .gdip file, go to my Godot project, iOS, plugins, I'll paste it over here. Then again go to your plugin bin and we have to copy this .a file, go to your Godot project again, iOS, plugins, I'll paste it over here. I'll copy this name called my location. Okay, and I will change this name of our .a file to my location.a. all right, then okay, so I have some Godot project so what I'll do is that I have that script as well, what we have to write it inside our Godot. So what I'll do, go to my Godot project, create a 2D scene. I will first create one button. I'll just expand this particular button, just move it bottom. Okay, I'll just name it as get a location and here I'll add one more label, and here I'll just expand this and I'll put it down. Now I will change the font size for both of our button as well as label, so I'll just change it as 30. Okay, next I'll just quickly save this. Click save. I'll add one script to this. Click create. Okay, now I'll just extends not to do. Okay, I'll just copy paste this code. Okay, so what I'm basically doing is, so we have got a reference to our label first, so I'll just drag our label and paste it over here. We don't require this label 3 because we don't have it. Then instead of arithmetic we have to write our my location over here. I'll expand this. This should be my location as well. Okay, so we are basically loading our my location plugin. Again, this should be my location, this should be my location, this should be my location, and here we are connecting our signal location result. And once we get that particular result, we are just updating our label. This can be label. If you don't want to write this text, you can ignore it, that as well. Now on button press, okay, I haven't created that signal, so I'll just go over here, pressed, I'll click connect. Okay, why isn't it I'll just comment this out for now. Go to my, okay, it has created this signal. I'll just uncomment this. Why is it not showing it over here? I'll just disconnect it, maybe some mistake. That's the problem of copy pasting. I'll just click on connect again. Okay, so it has created this signal. Alright, I'll just add it over here, and here I'll just copy this. I'll just remove this unnecessary code and I'll just paste it over here. Now instead of arithmetic, we'll again have to write my location over here as well as over here. Now here I have created one method called get last 3 characters. The reason I am doing is that because I don't want to show you my real location, but you should not use this get last 3 characters. You can just directly write something like this, str result. Okay, so you use directly like this. Don't do get last 3 characters, just because I don't want to show you guys my location, that's why I'm doing this. All right, okay, now let's see next, what's the next step. Okay, so we have to click on project, export, click add iOS, click on fix import, add your app store team id. To get it, to get your app store team id, you can visit this particular URL. It will tell you what your app store team id is. I will enter my app store team id later on. Then inside bundle identifier, write whatever bundle it mostly it is your company name dot your app name, but I'll just keep it as my awesome Godot game. Okay, and if you scroll down here, you should see your plugins. If you are not able to see it, that means you have performed something wrong. I'm able to see it. I'll just click on this my location checkbox. Okay, let's see if there is anything else which I'm missing. Okay, so I'll quickly enter my app store team id, and then I will click on this export project button, which should be available after entering our app store team id. Before exporting your project, make sure you run it once, because we have to select a current scene, otherwise you will face issue while running it from Xcode. Okay, so the current scene is set. Now I'll click on project, export, and before exporting it, I have created one folder called my awesome iOS. You can name it whatever you feel like. Again, make sure it is outside the plugin folder. Create it wherever you feel like, because once I click on export project, here you might be seeing that okay, it has only one file, but actually it creates an entire Xcode projects for us. That's why it's better you create a separate folder so that it has all the files. Now this will take a little bit of time. Once this is done, I'll come back. So here you can see that my awesome iOS, it is trying to create this particular project. So it is basically an Xcode project, and if you double click on it, you should be able to see your Xcode project. Okay, so my Godot export has been done, and I have just double click on this .xcode proj file and it has opened it inside Xcode. Now first you have to go to sign in and capabilities. Just click over here, then click on target. You will have to select the same team for which you have entered the App Store team ID inside Godot. So make sure that if after selecting your team, if you are still getting some issue over here, red color error, then just uncheck this automatic manage signing, check it back again and make sure you select your team again. That should be that should resolve your issue. Also we have to, inside our info we have to add this ns location privacy when in usage. So if you don't have this, like sometimes it previously when I was trying this, like I haven't added it manually right now, but previously when I was trying this it was not present. I don't know why. Let me just check. Yeah, it is the right folder I have opened. So previously when I was using this, it wasn't really there for me. So make sure you have this privacy location when in usage description permission. If you don't see this, you could just have to click on this plus button, and here it should be just scroll down inside in privacy. You should see over here privacy location when in usage. I already have it, so I won't add it again. Okay, I'll just click on this minus button, and here you can add some string on why you require the location permission. Okay, again write some proper string, otherwise Apple may reject your app again. Now I will quickly run it on my real device and show you the output. Don't run it on simulator, it causes lot of issues. That's why I run it on a real iOS device. Okay guys, so here is the output. If I click on get location, it first asks me for permission. I'll click on allow while using the app, and here you can see it is able to show my location. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.